On Sunday, October 27, 2024, I attended Progressive Victory's Canvas event here in Madison, Wisconsin. I had an incredible time and knocked on just under 60 doors to hand out voting resources and support the Harris Walls campaign. I met amazing people, ate some delicious Costco pizza, and overall felt like more of a participant in my local community than ever before. It was genuinely awesome to see all kinds of leftists set aside their differences for the sake of a common goal. But I'm not gonna bullshit my audience with this one. Progressive Victory is notorious and possibly most well known for its collaboration with less than reputable characters. Stephen Bonnell, more commonly known as Destiny, is a titan of modern debate and has rightfully earned his reputation as one of the most sincere and articulate defenders of left-wing thought. With all of that being said, it is to my belief that Destiny is guilty of having a critical lapse in moral judgment, from casually suggesting that survivors of sexual assault are victims of their own promiscuity to expressing support for incestuous relationships between consenting adult relatives. While I certainly wouldn't reduce his entire history of activism to the sum of his weakest moments, I think there's something to be said about the fact that he has made virtually no effort to apologize for or take back what any reasonable person would describe as consequential failures as a commentator. Sacrificing your unfiltered personality is the last thing I would suggest of someone in his position, but it is Stephen's blatant disregard for his responsibility to set a positive example for his audience that has been the root of his reputational downfall. Clara Sorrenti, known online as Keffals, is a transgender creator known for covering left-winged and LGBTQ+ related politics. After being doxxed and swatted by users of the far-right harassment forum Kiwi Farms, Keffals showed incredible resilience and successfully pressured their host into dropping them, functionally shutting down the website for a short period of time. However, fearing for her life, she needed to move out of her home, and to do so, she created a GoFundMe, both to fund a legal case against the police department for transphobia-motivated mistreatment, and in order to move somewhere that Kiwi Farms couldn't swat her. To make a very long story short, after raising over $100,000, yes, $100,000, very little details were given about the legal case, and many people were reasonably suspicious that it wasn't going anywhere. After a few months or so of stonewalling anyone who asked her where the hell $100,000 went, screenshots emerged suggesting that her legal case was going absolutely nowhere. Keffals admitted to having spent some of the money on meeting a variety of personal needs. It should be noted that among these needs was a potentially life-saving stay at a rehab facility, which is an understandable act of desperation, but other uses of the GoFunds have been confirmed to have gone towards professional streaming equipment and a studio-quality lighting setup. One could argue that Keffals needed basic internet and streaming access in order to continue fundraising and making a living, but there is absolutely no excuse for misusing an emergency fund to get your hands on the latest in luxury streaming gear. Xanderhal is a content creator who is known for his debates and reaction streams where he debunks popular conservative rhetoric. A disciple of Destiny's former self, Xanderhal is known for having escaped the alt-right pipeline at a young age, and works to build bridges in the political community in order to spread his beliefs to a wider audience. Despite seemingly being a very friendly and reasonable guy, it was recently uncovered that Xanderhal was horrifically verbally abusive to his former friend and editor Cherry. Leaked screenshots revealed Xanderhal berating Cherry for things that were outside of her control and demanding Keffals' address, proclaiming he wanted to kill her. Vaush is a political streamer who is arguably as talented as Destiny, but he accidentally flashed his porn folder to hundreds of people, which contained realistic depictions of bestiality and girls that any ethical gooner would have clocked as canonically underage. Mr. Beat is a former... I'm just kidding, I have nothing bad to say about Mr. Beat, but you should check out my interview with him. I can imagine what you're thinking. How dare I volunteer my time and labor to an organization that openly collaborates with these irredeemable monsters? And the simple answer is, it doesn't matter. Progressive Victory is an organization dedicated to ensuring the electoral victory of progressive candidates. They have virtually no interest in left-winged infighting. The 2024 presidential election has been a big game of tug-of-war between a genocidal maniac and a significantly less genocidal maniac. We need every goddamn vote we can get. All the creators I mentioned are doing an objectively good thing by mobilizing their audiences to get out there and encourage the world to vote. Whether or not I like these creators, they have very diverse and politically literate audiences who hold a lot of power when they stand together. I have spoken to a lot of PV volunteers, and the majority of them are indeed fans of the aforementioned creators. But at the end of the day, they're just people who find those personalities entertaining. While canvassing, I met Vaush and Destiny fans, but none of them were rape apologists or zoophiles. They're just people who appreciate a good political stream and the occasional ownage of conservative pundits.